Ranger. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
We lost him again, Tonto.
Him plenty slippery character.
He must be somewhere around here.
Me think him head for that box canyon, but me not sure.
If he's holed up there, we'll have to keep that entrance covered.
Maybe other way out. Him seem to know every trail and country.
I think you're right.
When man run from law, him have to know plenty places to hide.
We have to know just as many places to look. We're keeping after Blackie Kane until we get him.
Him no fool, Kemo Sabe. Him outsmart us twice now.
Yes, and he may do it again. As long as Blackie Kane is free, nobody's life is safe.
Listen, Kemo Sabe. Me hear horses.
It's him. Come on, Tonto. We lost him, Tonto. We better backtrack. We must have hidden in here, Tonto.
Ground too rocky, no hoof prints here.
Tonto, look. He was here, all right. Blackie Kane's trademark. Brown paper cigarette.
How we find him again, Kemo Sabe?
The same as we found him the last time. By following the trail he leaves. A trail of robbery and murder. Let's go.
Hold up.
Blackie Kane, Sheriff, just held up the express office.
Blackie Kane.
That's what he said. Come on, let's round up a posse.
I must be getting old, Jim, to let Blackie Kane slip through my fingers.
Don't worry, Sheriff. Someone else will capture him.
I don't want anybody else to capture him. I want us to capture him. What was the matter with you today?
What do you mean?
I watched you when we were chasing Blackie Kane. Your heart wasn't in it. You seemed glad when he got away.
Oh, you're crazy, Hank.
Am I? Jim, when I signed you as my deputy 2 years ago, I picked you for a square shooter. Don't let me down.
Look, Sheriff, anytime you stop trusting me, you can have my badge.
Take it easy. It's getting late. We're both tired.
I'm going to my cabin.
Reach, Jim. Don't draw, you're covered. I hate to do this to an old pal. But now that you're a lawman, I can't take any chances.
How did you find me?
I recognized you when you and that posse were chasing me this afternoon.
Never figured you'd join up with the law, Jim.
What do you want here?
Now, is that any way to talk to a man who knows as much about you as I do?
Folks respect me in this town, Blackie. I like my job and I've made good. Don't mess things up for me again.
Why, Jim, I'm not going to mess things up for you. I just want you to do me a little favor.
Favor? What kind of favors can I do for you? You've robbed every bank in the state. Don't you have enough money yet?
That's just the trouble. I've got too much money. And too many people are looking for me. This morning it was a masked man and an Injun. This afternoon, you and that posse.
What do you expect me to do? Tell people to leave you alone?
You won't have to because I'm hightailing it out of here, heading for the border. But first I need a few things. Food, ammunition, a change of clothes.
That should be easy for you. Just rob a general store.
It's not worth the risk. Besides, there's more than just me. I've hooked up with the two Barrett brothers, and the three of us figure it'd be a lot simpler if you brought us what we need. You can say you're buying it for friends.
Look, Blackie, I'm working for the law, not against it. If you think I'm going to help a bunch of cheap murdering crooks, you're out of your mind.
Hold it, Tin Horn. Or how would you like me to write to the marshal at Abilene and let him know where a certain Jim Wadsworth is, who's wanted for murder? What do you say, Jim?
Where are you and the Barretts hiding out?
Copper Canyon, the north corner. We'll be expecting you first thing in the morning, lawman.
You right about Blackie Kane leaving trail. Him rob express office in Muldoon.
Did they catch him, Tonto?
Sheriff and posse chase Kane out of town, then lose him. But just now me pick up Kane's trail again.
Good. Where did the trail lead to?
Me not understand, Kemo Sabe. Tracks lead right back to cabin of sheriff's deputy right near here.
Sheriff's deputy?
Me look through window, but Kane not there.
Who is this deputy?
Me ask in town, him named Jim Tyler. Come to Muldoon 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Why, 2 years ago, Blackie Kane was in a lot of trouble in Abilene with a man named Jim Wadsworth.
Me remember. Wadsworth disappear.
Yes, and was never found again. You stay here, Tonto. I want a good look at this Jim Tyler.
Yeah?
Don't draw. I'm a friend.
Then why the mask?
This mask means the same to me as your badge does to you.
You a lawman? Oh, you must be the masked rider that was chasing Blackie Kane this morning.
How did you know I was chasing Blackie Kane?
Well, somebody in town saw you. What do you want with me, anyway?
I was hoping you might know where Blackie Kane is.
Me? How could I know?
Weren't you the last man to see him?
See him? Oh, you mean, when we were chasing him this afternoon?
I thought you might have seen him since then.
How could I? Blackie and I are on opposite sides of the law.
Yes, I'm told you made a fine record in this town. You come from Abilene, don't you?
Why do you ask?
I just got back from there myself, checking up on Kane. It seems he and a man named Wadsworth were involved in a murder 2 years back.
Wadsworth, huh? Who's he?
A young bank clerk. Most people I talked to spoke very highly of him. It seems he let them down by running away.
Maybe when a man's wanted for murder, he has to run away.
That depends. Whether he's innocent or guilty. Sorry you can't help me get a line on Kane. I'll be on my way.
Wait. Why are you so interested in Blackie Kane?
Because he's hurt a lot of innocent people. He'll hurt more if he isn't caught.
I suppose if this Wadsworth were any kind of a man, and he knew where to find Blackie Kane, he'd want to bring him to justice.
That depends. He'll have to give himself up, too. There's one way of picking up Blackie's trail. He often smokes brown paper cigarettes. Like this. Jim, I hope you find Blackie. Slow down, Sheriff. I'm here on business.
Business? I want to see a man's face when I talk business.
You'll have to make an exception this time.
What do you want?
I have reason to believe your deputy, Jim Tyler, is protecting Blackie Kane.
Jim? In cahoots with Blackie? I won't believe it. I know men, mister, and I picked Jim for a square shooter. And I'd stake my life he's honest.
I know men too, Sheriff. I think you're right about Jim. But only he can prove it.
How?
By capturing Blackie Kane.
What do you suggest I do?
Send Jim out tomorrow after Blackie. Alone.
Alone?
My Indian friend Tonto and I will follow his trail. We'd like you to come along, too.
Just why do you want him to go alone?
Because then he'll feel free to help Blackie escape or to bring him in for trial.
Two choices, huh?
Yes, but only one if he's a square shooter.
All right. I'll see him in the morning.
Good, Sheriff. See you later.
You see Jim Tyler?
Yes, Tonto.
What'd you find out?
Nothing definite except that I think Jim Tyler and Jim Wadsworth are the same man.
How you prove that?
Tonto, I can't. Unless Jim himself admits it.
Him not likely do that when him makes up in murder.
That depends upon what kind of a person he really is. There's no doubt he helped Blackie Kane. But did he do it because he wanted to or because he had to?
There's no way to find answer for that.
Tonto, I think there is.
You have planned to trap Jim?
If my plan works out right, it'll be Blackie Kane who'll be trapped.
What do you mean?
Well, Sheriff Pettigrew is sending Jim on a manhunt tomorrow. I'm hoping he'll lead us to Blackie Kane. And if he does, then we'll find out for sure what side of the law he's really on.
Come in.
Morning, Jim.
Morning, Sheriff. I was just coming down to the office.
I'll save you the trip. Get a nice early start.
I suppose we're going after Blackie Kane again.
Not we. You.
Me? Alone?
Yeah. Can't both of us go off and leave the town unprotected? Blackie's just one man. Shouldn't take more than one to catch him.
Well, supposing he's got friends.
Afraid you'll be outnumbered? That's not like you, Jim.
Well, he's probably at the border by now anyway.
Then follow him to the border and bring him back. What's the matter with you, Jim? Have you forgotten that you're a lawman?
I haven't forgotten.
Then get going.
There, Jim, Kemo Sabe.
He's headed due south toward Copper Canyon.
Copper Canyon. Isn't there no line shack in that canyon?
Yeah. Maybe your suspicions are right, friend. He looks like he knows where he's going.
And that could be Blackie Kane's hideout. We'll ride over and take a look.
That must be Jim with the supplies. Yeah, that's him.
Good. We eat.
Take care of the fire. Hello, Jim. Glad to see you got here early. Meet the Barrett brothers. This is Jim Wadsworth. Or I should say Jim Tyler, now that he's a lawman. Did you bring the stuff?
No, Blackie, I didn't. Don't move. Stay where you are. Drop your guns, all of you.
What's the big idea?
I've got a score to even up with you, Blackie. And now's as good a time as any.
What are you going to do with me?
You'll find out. Get outside.
Not so fast, Jim.
Would you rather even up the score in here?
You're not going to even it up anywhere. Because I lied to you when I told you there were two Barrett brothers. There's 3 of them. And the third one's standing behind you right now. Let him have it, Clint.
What are we going to do now? We can't reach the border without food and ammunition.
There may still be a way.
How? Every lawman in the territory's watching for us.
It may be risky, but it might work. Jim's the same build as me. If I was to change clothes with him, I might get what we want.
In Muldoon, everybody knows him there.
No, in Weaverville.
That's the wrong direction from the border.
I can get there and back in 4 hours.
That's great for you if it works. What guarantee we got you'll come back?
There's your guarantee. The gold I stole from the Muldoon Express office. Satisfied?
Yeah.
All right, give me a hand.
I don't understand. 5 horses.
Me recognize Jim's horse and Blackie's horse, but who other 3 belong to?
I'm not sure, but I got a poster in on one of the Barrett brothers. Said he was riding a horse like that Pinto.
Barrett brothers. It's hard to believe that Jim is tied in with them, too.
Look, Kemo Sabe.
It's Jim, coming out alone.
I'd give a lot to know what went on inside that cabin.
So would I. He must have made a deal with Blackie.
That's not Jim. It's Blackie.
We can't let him get away.
Tonto, trail him.
Jim must have traded clothes with Blackie. Why the...
Hold on, Sheriff. We have no proof Jim is working with them. Let's try to get inside that cabin. You know the Barretts are wanted, too. Tonto will take care of Blackie. Let's go.
Blackie's crazy if he thinks we need this hombre as a hostage. Finish him off now, Vince.
We've got to get inside.
I think we're outnumbered.
We'll have to risk it. Jim's life is at stake. There's a door in the back. I'll sneak around and see if I can take him by surprise. You keep firing through this window.
Reach high. You, drop it. You'll do the dumping, mister. Kind of figured you'd pull a trick like this. You outside. Come in with your hands up or I'll shoot the masked man dead. Well, what do you know? A sheriff. Looks like we're going to have a bigger funeral than we planned on. Before we do, I want to have a look at that face of yours.
You all right, Jim?
I'm fine now.
Lucky you came to when you did. You saved our lives.
I guess you saved mine. They'd have gotten rid of me quick.
Any idea where Blackie went?
I don't know. I think I heard him say he was coming back.
Jim, get some rope. Tie these men up. We'll wait for Blackie here. Get over there. You, out. Hurry it up.
Who smashed the windows? You hombres been fighting? Well, I got everything we need. We can light out for the border.
Look out!
You all right, Jim?
Just nick me. Me follow this one to Weaverville, Kemo Sabe. Him fool them. Make them think him Jim.
If you're looking for your other 3 men, they're tied up in that closet over there.
You ain't taking me in.
No? Who's going to stop us?
He is. And if he don't, I'll see that he hangs higher than I will.
Can he do that, Jim?
I'm afraid so.
What do you mean by that?
He means I know something you don't want me to tell.
You're right, Blackie, because I'm going to do the telling. 2 years ago, Blackie and I worked in the same bank. One night, I caught him and another cashier making plans to hold it up. The other fellow reached for a gun. So did I. He fired and missed, but I didn't.
Why didn't you stay and face the music, Jim?
Because it looked like murder, and there was a lynch mob forming. Blackie was my only witness. He wouldn't testify that I shot in self-defense unless I helped him rob the bank. So I ran out.
That's not the way I saw it happen. And that's not what I'm going to tell a jury. He was planning to hold up that bank himself.
Which one of them you think's telling the truth?
That's something we may never find out, Sheriff. But I do know this. Jim here saved our lives, and we owe him a favor in return. It isn't likely that we'd turn him in. But the only way to keep Blackie from doing it is to kill him.
You gone crazy?
Jim, you make the decision.
Thanks.
Now, wait a minute. I'm entitled to a fair trial. You can't take the law into your own hands.
You've been doing that for a number of years, Blackie.
Yeah, but I'm an outlaw. He's a deputy. It's his job to uphold the law.
Not anymore, it isn't. Outside, Blackie.
Now, wait a minute, Jim. You can't do this to me.
Outside.
I've got my rights.
That's far enough, Blackie.
Gone loco. You'll be a party to murder if you let Jim kill Blackie.
Jim, wait a minute. You're an honest man. You don't shoot people in cold blood.
Don't I?
Jim, I swear I'll tell the truth. It was self-defense, just like you said. I swear I'll tell the truth.
You look good on your knees, Blackie.
Jim, ain't you human? Can't you give me a chance?
Sure, I'll give you a chance, Blackie. Because you're right, I can't shoot a man in cold blood. Get up!
You're a fool, Jim. You should have killed me when you had the chance. I'm not weak like you. When I get a man where I want him, I let him have it. Like this.
Hi, Blackie. On your feet. Here's your man, Sheriff.
I'm certainly grateful to you, mister, for handing me an empty gun. I'd have been dead now if you hadn't.
Jim, it's the only way I could find out whether you're an honest lawman or a murderer. We'll head for town.
Ready, Jim? The stage is waiting to take us to Abilene.
Ready.
And you'll be back plenty soon. No jury convict you now.
Not after Hank gets through testifying for you.
You bet I'll be back. But I'll be back as Jim Wadsworth, thanks to you two.
The West needs lawmen like you, Jim. Stick at it. Tonto, adios.
Hey, I forgot to ask your name. He's gone.
I reckon nobody knows his name.
Well, you must have known him, Hank. You trusted him.
Sure, I trusted him. He's the Lone Ranger.